Hi folks, today we are going to see about the great expectation, how to use a great expectation as an Azure Databricks environment actually. Okay, these are the four topics we are going to see. First one is how to install the package, the great expectation package into the Databricks cluster. Second one is how to configure the data sources. Here we are we are going to use a Spark data source actually. Third one is the data context actually, how the data context should be initialized. For final one is a demo action. Okay, test is my cluster. Okay, test is my cluster actually. I have created a standalone cluster. This is my configuration. I'm just using the Databricks Ransom runtime version 8.3. I'm running a single node cluster. Okay, libraries I have installed the Great Expectation. You want to install library? Just click the option install new. Select the PyPy. Um, Okay, here you can mention great expectation, just great high underscore expectation. Also, in which version you want to use means you can mention the version as well and click install. It will get installed in this cluster. Okay, okay. This is our code actually, which is we are going to evaluate this data source actually on CSV file. We are going to pass the test condition uh, for this data set actually. INDCSV is a data set actually. We are going to execute these two test cases actually. One is whether the row count is 4. Another one is the page title column should have these values only, not more than these values actually. Okay. The first one is we are planning to use the Spark DF engine to validate this data set actually. Okay. Second is the data context config. Data context config includes the data sources and stores actually. Stores we already discussed about the stores. So the expectation file store will hold the validation condition. Validation file store validation store contains the results actually. Evaluation store will contain the parameters. What are the parameters? Actually, today in this demo we are not going to see about the evaluation parameters. No? But by default you need to pass this evaluation file store things actually. Okay. Once the validation has been completed, we are going to invoke this action actually. Without mentioning this action, your results will not get stored into the validation store actually. In this action list operator, you can add a in this action list you can add the list of action can be triggered once the validation has been completed. You can build your docs actually once the validation has been completed. You can trigger notification in Slack once the validation has been completed. So these kind of action can be triggered using the validation operators. Okay. Okay. Once the context has been initialized, created, you can check whether the context has been configured properly or not. So you can list down the data sources as well as the list down the stores actually what you have configured. Okay. This one is a normal Spark code to read the. I'm just reading a file into and converting a data frame and just pass this data frame into this batch. I'm creating a batch here. After creating the batch, I am just executing these test cases. This validate function, which will execute both the test cases. Okay. Mm, After that, I am just running the validation operator, which will store the validation results in the validation JSON file. Actually, okay. I am going to run this code actually. Okay. I have only four records in this file actually. Okay. We'll see the results actually. Yeah. Okay. for couple of test cases it returns true. If one of the test case got failed means it will be updated as false actually. Okay. We have evaluated expectation 2. Success percentage is 100% because two condition has been passed actually. Successful expectation 2, unsuccessful is 0 actually. Okay. Now I'm going to change the value. I'm just make one of the test case get failed, and we'll see the results in as well. I'm just changing the data. Okay. Uh, okay, it will create the. We'll get the data from validation store actually. For test suite, it will create based on the execution time actually. This one, the test one, I guess. Okay, can just copy. I think it's wrong thing, I guess. Uh, it should be last one actually. Actually, you can now we are using the file store, but actually you can use the database to store this validation results and test conditions as well. Actually, okay, we got the success false actually. Okay, totally we have two conditions. Success percentage is 50. Successful expectation is 1. Unsuccessful expectation is 1 actually. The total result of this suit is false actually. Okay, is the anticipated one. Okay. Finally, it's we haven't saved the expectation suit. That's why it is empty actually. Okay. Let me summarize things. First we are configuring the data source. Second, we are going to configure the stores. Third one is we are creating the context out of it actually. Fourth one is we are verifying the data sources as well as the stores. Fifth one is we are reading the data set and creating a expectation suit out of it. After that, we are creating the batch by passing the data set and data source, what we are going to use actually. And finally, we are just passing the conditions actually. Make use of the batch. We are executing these conditions. Once the condition has been executed, we are just running the validation operator. This validation operator, it will execute the list of action which is mentioned in the action list operator actually. So as of now, we are just saving the validation results in the validation table. That's been done actually by make use of this option. We are reading this file actually. So it will provide the results. Statistics, it provide the overall statistics of your suit actually, which means how many expectations say you have used and how much it got passed and how much it got failed. Uh, Finally, is the total output of your expectations. So, expectation suit output actually. That's it, guys, for today.